we're celebrating Abida's 18th birthday and also Salijan's 16th birthday. So today is everybody's birthday. So ladies and gentlemen, put your biggest round of applause to welcome our VVIP into the hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me and welcome our host for this evening, Challenging Platinum Director, Veronica Chu.
Thank you, Ivy, for the lovely introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Veronica, and I'd like to welcome you all here on this evening's BOP, and I'd like to say hello to the people in Zoom. Okay, before we start, let us do some warm-ups. Okay, I'd like all of you to stand up and introduce yourself to 3 people you don't know. So give you 2 minutes to do that. Okay, everyone, met at least 3 people today. Take your seats, please. Mala, you haven't met 3 people yet? Okay, before we start the BOP proper, there's a little unusual event happening here because this happens once, like never. This is the first time. Okay, in the last 2 months, May and June, we've had some people who bought direct GAs. Okay, and these 34 people who bought direct GAs, Gold Associates, they are put into a bowl for the lucky draw, and then the prize for this evening is 6 boxes of Celogen. See this with this lovely box, okay, one of a kind, and this is done globally. So anyone in Avita's network anywhere in the world who has 6 GAs would be what direct GA, sorry, would be entitled to this lucky draw. And I would like to invite our Pearl Ambassador, Joey Tan, to draw the lucky winner.
Everybody, but can you go lock 6GA now? Wow.
Okay. Drum roll, somebody. Drrr. Leong Mei SG 556344. Anyone know Leong Ki? No, because this is global. This prize will be. Let's give a round of applause to the lucky winner.
Okay. Okay, ada. Photo, photo.
Not me, leh.
Leong Ning Ki.
Leong Meng Ki. Okay. Only one prize for the lucky winner. So next time when they tell you to log in direct GAs, go for it. Okay. Tonight's topic, okay, is blue ocean strategy. Okay, let me tell you a little bit more about how I came into the blue ocean. I was swimming in the red ocean for many, many decades, work for money, exchanging my time for money. Tell me if anyone else is doing that out there. Huh? Many people. That's how we start life. That's how our education system taught us, right? Work hard, study hard, work hard, get a good job, and then get into a good pay rise in your company, and then that's how you succeed. But every time you are promoted, do you get more responsibilities? Yes. And do you have less hours to spend with your family? Yeah. So I came into the blue ocean because I had an aha moment. It was not a very happy moment. I was working with my boss for more than 20 years. I think some of you heard my story. And one day we literally dropped dead. Okay. One Friday night at work, says she's not well. I sent her to the hospital and she never made it through the night. So that was my moment, like, wow, worked so hard. And she was planning to retire at 70. And then she dropped when she was 65 only. Then I think, wow, very scary. But that time I was already coming to my 60s. If I carry on the way that she does, I also will not be around for a long time, right? So I'm so happy to be in this blue ocean. And I'm also encouraging you to pay attention, empty your mind, and pour in this new information you're going to get. Next, I'd like to introduce you to our speaker. He was an SAF scholar. You think, wow, brilliant people, right? brilliant mind, went overseas to study under the government's grant. Very brilliant, right? And yeah, but when he finished, when he decided to take early retirement, he wanted to be an entrepreneur. He went into several businesses, thinking, yes, I have capital, I want to do my own business. But then didn't quite turn out the way he wanted. I'll let him tell you his story, okay? So let us put our hands together for our very esteemed Diamond President, Chong Pheng.
Thank you. Monica. You see, sir, I know for sure she'll get a louder applause than me. Okay, so how many of you don't know me meeting me for the first time? Can I have a... Yeah, okay, so a few people. So, Blue Ocean is a topic that's close to my heart. Why? Because I really started after I left the army. Actually, it's the year that I was due for promotion that I left. So I officially retired at the age of 42 and have been unemployed since. Okay, until now. And the first business I ever started was scuba diving business. Totally out. I'm a triple E, which is electrical electronics engineer by training, by profession. I even have a master's of science in defense technology, expertise being in electronics and guided weapons. I'm a dangerous man. Huh? Yeah. But I left that all when I left the army. I came out and I decided to do something totally different. So I went into the scuba diving business. So I jumped into the blue ocean. And it was very strange when people told me, wow, when you're in the army, you talk, 300 people very busy. Then now, 6 customers come, you carry bags for them. Is that okay in life? Is it okay? Yeah, I felt that was my way of learning business. So I went into many different businesses from hospitality, which there I learned hospitality, right? And then I went into other businesses like import-export of commodities, really, reclamation, sand, coal. And then I went to financial project coordination. And that one was where the first time brought me to China. At the time, I always thought, wow, my mom told me, you go to China, then you'll be prepared to send, television and VCR players. By the time I came back from China, I told my mom, I think they ask you how many TVs you want, they send to you. China was changed. So a lot of us always stick with old mindset. Okay, but I'm very glad the 8 years that I walked through as an entrepreneur opened my mind to a lot of things. And all we can do now is share with all of you so that at least some of you who are thinking of walking the path I'm walking can save a bit of time, save a bit of resources, and enjoy the journey a lot more. Paul, you can come to the front if you want. Yeah. Okay, that young man there is Paul. I spoke with him a little bit. He's very lucky. He's very entrepreneurial, and he started the journey at half the age that I started. Okay, so before I start, I'm going to let you watch a little video. Okay, volume 2.
Asian parents wanting their kids to be doctors. It's weird because it's true, right? I know because my parents were the same way. They just wanted us to be doctors. It was like this obsession. They just wanted us to be doctors. And it's insidious as well. Because when Asian parents want their kids to be doctors, helping people is like on the bottom of the list of reasons. Oh, if it even makes the list of reasons to go into medicine, helping people is like the unfortunate byproduct of becoming a healthcare professional. It's about the money and the prestige, right? It's the money and the prestige. Your children becoming doctors is the quickest way. You can turn it around. Instant credibility, instant respectability, instant money. Right, you flip the clan narrative around. Boom. Start from the bottom, now we're here. We're doctors. And it's also weird because Asian parents are also the last group of people you can ever convince to see a doctor. Nothing can make my mom see a doctor. There's nothing. My mom got an arrow going right through her. And she's trying to pull it out like Rambo, right? And you're like, yo, mom, let's go see a doctor. And my mom will be like, no, they just want to take people's money. And you're like, then why do you want your kids to be doctors so badly? Because I want my kids to take other people's money, obviously. The fact that you don't understand that is the reason why you never became a doctor.
Okay, so how many of you wanted to be a doctor last time? How many of you, your parents say you were going to be a doctor? Well, actually, I have a doctor at home. That's my sister. She wanted to be a lawyer, but somehow my grandpa said go and be a doctor. So now she's a doctor and she has 2 doctors at home. And the 2 doctors at home are going to, one is married to another doctor and the next one is getting married to a doctor again. So suddenly my family, no doctors, now got 5 doctors. Huh? Where? Yeah. So suddenly my clan now, we're all lucky already, right? We are doctors, 5 doctors even. But what's the narrative? This is what's happening. Okay, they've developed a system that is more accurate in diagnosing patients using AI. So you think doctors are sacred, right? Then when you have this, what happens? What happens? People are always talking about technology. Technology as if it's going to be the last thing. No, actually, the smart thing to do is this. There is this thing about doctoring that actually the patients feel that the doctor cared. The touch of the doctor and talking to you. That's important. So please don't be afraid of technology. Okay, but make yourself that disruption to the technological route. Is that okay? So keep that in mind. So it's change, and not just doctors are facing it, everybody is facing it. Let me know if I'm blocking you. Okay, this is latest, forget gap year. So they are finding it hard to look for jobs. And then the funny thing is employers are looking for not academic results anymore. Okay, not academic results anymore. So how many of you are still every day asking your child to study hard? Don't have, are you sure or not? How many of you when you were young were asked to study hard? Okay. That is called preventive care, actually. That's why all of you are sitting here, not the poorest in the whole group. Okay? Because studying did make a difference to our lives. Okay? But this is going to get more difficult. And this is competition. It's ridiculous when young people come up. They face fewer jobs opening and growing mismatch on vocations and skill. And this is the first time when you look at it. This is the first time a graduate comes out from school and suddenly they are told, you are not properly skilled to do this. So suddenly you come out from work, you look for a job and they tell you, no, go for upgrading. So use your skill future, go and do upgrading. Skill future, you think only for old people? No, skill future also needed for young people. Poor thing, right? How many of you already now feel, wow, my kid going through this, very painful? Or you all know kids, one? How many of you got young kids waiting to? I don't know how go face this kind of challenges. How many of you? In fact, a lot of us. Okay, my son just quit his job. Oh, very brave, quit his job. Now holidaying in Hong Kong. Yeah. So I don't know what he's going to look for. But anyway. And this one. Fresh grads and mature workers may face employment struggle. How many mature workers here? Okay, like immature workers also can. Yeah, okay, we have a few. And then, so the mature workers are facing this. Have you all seen this report? There are 3 things that the minister is telling us. Okay, there's no painless way. The 3 things you do is 1, save more while working. More jobs save what? Why not? no job, no salary, still save. How to save? Second, spend less every month to make their retirement saving last longer. Earn really not enough to save for retirement. I think a bit off. Yes, the last one is the best. Work longer and retire later. How many of you want that one? Very favorite. Huh? No, you sure not? I thought nowadays people are holding on to the job like, that's the last thing, better don't lose this job, No? So if you are facing all this in life, actually every generation faces this kind of things in life, okay? Not just us. It's just that with technology, this is a little bit more exacerbated. So, those were the stereotypes we know, right? The last few slides that I show you, those are the stereotypes we know. So is it time for us to go and learn to swim in the blue ocean? So all of you can sign up for a scuba diving course with me. That's me. No, I don't teach anymore, but what's the blue ocean? The blue ocean is a book written by Professor Chan Kim and Renee, and it talks about creating opportunities for yourself. Don't fight over the same piece of cake. Okay? So you are not supposed to outperform, you're not supposed to try to outperform competitor, you're supposed to obsolete your competitor. Right? So let's say in the past it was an LP. How many of you know LPs? I think nobody will put up a hand because LP very old technology. Yeah? LP is long play vinyls. Maybe Juliana only. You see, all don't want to admit that they know LPs. Okay, how many know cassettes? See, at least we have a few honest people, some nodding head, but come on, Arena, you know cassettes. How many know CD players? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. See that young man there, Ziv, what CD player? How many know iPod? iPod, yes, okay. So when all this new technology come in, they make the previous one obsoleted. So this is what you talk about blue ocean is. So when you want to jump into the ocean, you see the red ocean full of sharks. Because the red ocean is basically competing in the existing market. So in the days where, remember how Coca-Cola was competing with Pepsi? Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they were competing on 23% of the crowd that was drinking cola. Yeah. And then Coca-Cola suddenly went ahead. You know why? Because Coca-Cola realized that, hey, why compete for that 23%? So you take a bit more, I take a bit less, it's still within 23%. Coca-Cola said there are 77% of people not drinking any of our drinks. Why don't I target that? Clever, right? So that is the kind of blue ocean we're talking about. It's not about beating the competition. It's basically that one let you play. You want to play in a small park, I let you play. I play in the big park. Okay? Don't work on existing demand, create a demand. Create and capture a new demand. Okay? And then the last one is value cost trade-off. You don't always have, you can reduce what is not necessary, maintain the value that people want, and maintain your cost. It's not about cutting costs by cutting value. Used to be something that's made in Switzerland, but now you say, let's produce it in China, lower costs, then we sell it cheaper. So we're competing on price, but the value has changed. Okay, so it is to break the value cost trade-off. You can do something else that people see that's of value. Red Oceans, safe ground. To some extent, Red Oceans has established, people know, if I go into this, okay, everybody in Singapore knows char kway teow. So if I go out there and sell char kway teow, I don't have to explain a lot. But then you're competing with people that are very established. You know that there's a product. So the bubble tea in Singapore. The bubble tea came out, it was so popular. Everybody said, wow, everybody wants bubble tea. Then everybody created bubble tea shop. Then one shop all died. But there are a few survivors. The few survivors are those who started first. The first movers, because they have a brand equity established there. So competition is very fierce. If you are new, don't try. Anybody want to try and become the next cola seller here? I said, please don't try. The two big colas is Coca-Cola and Pepsi Cola already there. If you want to start your cola, I think don't do that. Okay. So red oceans. Anybody have any idea what the red oceans are? Other than these? So you ask a young person, what you want to do business? What business do you want to do? What's the most common answer we get? Like cafe. My question to them is, why Singapore not enough coffee shop? You must create another cafe. So what's so unique about your cafe that people must come to your cafe? So you're going to throw 200,000 inside there. And then after that, nobody comes because next door, the lady was prettier. You know, it could just be that. Okay. You know, the nail hair, you know, what, 脚底按摩, the foot reflexology, you know, those were a boom during COVID days because we couldn't travel anywhere. The day we could go to Malaysia, what happened to those in Singapore? Boom. Because pricing, right? And then retailing. Nowadays, retailing is suffering. Why? Because we have e-commerce. Then better still, don't need to spend our time. And then especially the young people these days, they don't want to go out. They prefer to stay home. So everything buy online, correct? So if any one of you thinking of starting that kind of business, good luck to you. Maybe a few of us friends will visit you and, you know, they ask you for discount. Okay. Blue oceans, we create value and demand. Okay. It's not through cost cutting. I will deliver the value to you, but you have to pay for it. Because it is what you want. Okay. The successful creation, now first move, you have a brand equity. What's brand equity? Which means you are an old brand, right? So people still go to the, no matter how unhealthy the char kway teow is, you still go to the old brands, like you go to the one at Zion Road, right? You will go travel distance away to get the best chili crab. These are the brand equities that we're talking about. So as a first mover, you have an advantage. What are the disadvantages? The disadvantages is you can misjudge the market. But then on the other hand, if I'm facing the kind of competition that people are facing today, difficult to find a job, you know, a lot of red ocean around, I'd rather try something that nobody has tried before than to remain static, even if I misjudge the market. But the whole idea is that it's not going to destroy your life. So is there a low-cost way of trying a business that could possibly grow into something very big? Okay, and corporate blue ocean sometimes is very high cost. Okay, an example is I own this company called Share Taxi Private Limited because I wanted to create an app to allow people to share taxi. Very simple thing, right? Resource is scarce. Taxis are so few. Shenton Way during peak hours a day, morning peak hours, evening peak hours. So this time, can I create a system for people to share taxi? By creating a system for people to share taxi, I did the algorithm, I did calculation. People can get a taxi faster and reach home faster. A bit of inconvenience, maybe 5 minutes of detour. The taxi driver gets to earn about 40 to 60% more per month. Very blue. Yes. Okay, so I went out and I tried to look for funding. I went to the government, and the government, you didn't prove, blah, 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 blah. Then I forget the whole thing. So I didn't have deep enough pockets to do it. Okay. But thank goodness, because if I had done it, it would have been coming to maturity when COVID hit. Then I would have gone bankrupt. But now there is cap share. There is what? Grab share. Nowadays you can share everything and they're on beta system only. You need a lot of money when you want to do that kind of disruption. Okay? And then you have to time. So when I was doing that share taxi, a lot of questions asked is, hey, you know, in Singapore, people want to share taxi or not? I was going on the route that people want to go home faster. They don't mind sharing a taxi with somebody. But then I didn't care about, you know, the demographics. I didn't care about whether the pretty lady want to sit with this old man or not, you know. I just assumed that people want to get home earlier. Right? So time to educate and inform, you need people, so you need to drum up. So a lot of things, even Grab, a lot of things like Grab, right? Uber came out, like Grab came in, and Grab gave a lot of goodies, right? those who started using Grab, you all had a lot of goodies, right? The drivers had a lot of goodies, you all had a lot of goodies. And then after that, Gojek came along. Wow, they gave more goodies, then Grab gave more goodies, and now everything stabilized. Now no more goodies, which means those companies actually don't make money very early. Those companies actually, so you need to have very, very deep pockets and really a lot of persistence to lead. If you want to do this corporate type of, then all these are technology, but if you take yourself as that blue ocean, you take yourself as that person that's swimming in the blue ocean, what can you create for yourself? Okay, oceans sometimes come just with ideas. So, anybody knows why Cirque du Soleil, how many of you went to watch it? They come to Singapore a few times. Yeah. Cirque du Soleil's circus always have a storyline on, right? So they are not Broadway. Neither are they just a normal circus. They combine circus with Broadway. So that is blue ocean. That created something that nobody else has. That's a blue ocean. Airbnb. You all know Airbnb, right? The story of Airbnb. There are many copycats today. Yes, but still people talk about Airbnb. This is a brand equity, Airbnb. Just like when you use toothpaste, you say Colgate lah. Okay, the young people don't say lah, the old people. So if you hear those people say, bring your Colgate, bring Colgate, you know all these are the old people lah. Nowadays got Lion got whatever. Correct or not? Eileen, don't laugh at that. Some of the blue oceans, because there's a lot of copycat, become red oceans. So when you move, you have to move boldly. You don't go incrementally. You Chong. So iTunes, iPod. Okay, iTunes, iPod now, there's a lot. Then people now put on what? What's that called? Huh? Spotify. Yeah, then now Spotify is facing challenge again. Spotify now, the price cannot go up. And then when they go up, people cut off, use something else. Right? So all these blue oceans can become red oceans very quickly, but you maintain your brand, and the brand is a lot of money. Yeah. So Uber, same thing. Uber by Grab, and then now Uber is being used in Hong Kong and Japan, but in Asia it's mostly Grab. And then Gojek comes in, become a challenge, right? So these are some of the blue oceans. But again, all these, if you count on technology, these are the problems that you may face. So so back to our topic. Our topic is the TCM blue ocean. What is TCM? How many of you are TCM lovers from start? Not many, okay. That makes a good story. Usually, if you want to go to a blue ocean strategy, you are looking at things: innovation and differentiation. What's innovation? Innovation is about disruptive technologies. Well, we talk about technologies as in, no, don't need to be all that, T2 kind of technology. You yourself can be disruptive in your own way. We just learn how to do things differently. That is disruptive. Okay? Now we talk about value and demand. This is very important. Important, right? Because you are selling something, it's consumers, right? So what is cost value synergy? Cost value synergy doesn't mean I am keeping costs down, I'm delivering lower cost, but I'm delivering the value that you want. That is a synergy. In a lot of traditional way is cost goes up, value comes down, value gets cut, cost comes down, whatever. But now what we're trying to deliver is reasonable cost with the value that you want. So that synergy is very important. Customer-centric. Customer-centric has a lot of things. This what they want and you can deliver. And whether you deliver that to them or not. And that's why you and your personal relationship with your friend is always blue ocean. Right? Correct or not? How many lost here? Because the relationship can never be replaced. Suddenly you say, Sarah wants to talk to a friend. Okay, I'll send my AI bot over to talk to you. Not going to happen, right? Yeah, so customer-centric, focus on what they want, deliver the value that they want. Now, demand, what is non-consumers? Just now I asked you, how many of you born loving TCM? I saw 2 or 3 hands. But non-consumers are important part. Who is not using TCM right now? TCM is a growing market, but who is not using TCM right now? Why are they not using TCM? And because we changed the way we do it, suddenly I have a lot of people who even I didn't like TCM. I thought, well, boiling the thing to drink is very terrible. But suddenly I have a lot of people. How many of you, first time, look at TCM and say, when you come here? How many? The rest? No. What was the thing that made you all come here in the first place? How many of you came in via the M101 workshops or Kwasa party and all that? Yeah. So did you know that TCM, like, wow, I must go to see Sensei law? No, right? So when I talk about non-consumers, it's a big group of people. It's a big group of people. In fact, the people who are sick, maybe 30% of people are already taken care of by doctors. My question always to us as preventive wellness advocates is, looks after the 70% of people. What can we do to look after 70% of the people? If you can do that, you have a big market. Agree? Those are what I call non-consumers. Okay? Opportunity spotting. Do you know how to spot an opportunity and hold on to it? Then after you have the opportunity, do you know how to figure out all these things to disrupt the market? Very important. So that's where your differentiation happens. Okay? And when you do something, you do a strategic leap. You don't go increment. You don't do increment because somebody will come in and slam you down and that's it. Because they see that, hey, that one quite nice. And that's why we do it in a big way. When you do something, do it in a big way, and you redefine the market, the boundaries you push. So this is whole thing, if you want a compass to lead you through the blue ocean. So now I'm going to tell you in our system, how do we push this? TCM, why TCM? Because now everybody, okay, I'm risk being, there are a lot of people who want natural therapy. They don't want synthetic drugs. They want, back to what is clean label. Clean label is someone like DP Mary, for example, who's outside there tending to Zoom. Is you look at the label and you say no artificial, no additional, no extra ingredient that could either bump up the cost or cause side effects. That's clean label. Okay, they want keto, plant-based, this, that, healthy, and rise in chronic disease. Yes, so that becomes a big dilemma. We want consumer shifting to preventive wellness. Okay, but one very big thing in the world that we saw in Singapore, especially Singapore, Malaysia, right now, there's a big push for TCM. I was surprised a few years ago. I went to KL and I went with my friend to a KL hospital, KL General Hospital, and they had a whole wing dedicated to TCM. Okay, so TCM is big, right? So just all jump into TCM lah. All seven years become TCM physician lah. Okay or not? How many of you ready? I'm sure Jenny is okay. Now 7 years become TCM physician, okay? Or maybe your son John lah. I think the only one that could be eligible is this lah. Okay. It's a big growing trend. This is the trend that you look at. It's like growing by the what we call the CAGR is about 6 to 7% a year. So this is an uptrend. There's got big opportunities. Yes. So all jump in. Why don't all of us open up TCM centers lah? Then employ TCM doctors lah. Or you become TCM doctors lah. Why not? You can have the opportunity. Opportunity is there. Remember I talked about opportunity? Now, TCM, there are two. There's a red ocean TCM and there's a blue ocean TCM. Your traditional TCM in terms of market competition, today the traditional TCM, which is TCM physicians opening TCM clinics, is the top. That's why they are so big, right? Yeah, they occupy the strategic score there. The blue ocean only a little bit. Which means for blue ocean, there's a big marketplace, yeah? What does this mean? Why I call them the red ocean is because your treatment for the sick, as you talk about the trend, is a red. Okay, and maybe you're targeting of the whole population 20 to 30%. Then 20 to 30% who likes Western medicine so much, they're still rejecting TCM. So you're looking at, do you want to fight for that, 8 to 12% in the market? But when I talk about prevention for those who are not yet sick, is there a big market I can go to? Yeah, I can, because all of you are not sick and I can stand here and talk to you about TCM. So is it blue? But the market penetration is only about there. Strategic score only very low. So does that mean that we have a very large space to go on? Next, product innovation. This one not much product innovation. But when you talk about product innovation, there is a lot here for the blue ocean. Scientific validation. There are more and more people pushing TCM to go scientifically validated. And use of technology. This one also very little. Okay, in what ways? Product innovation. Vita has this set of essential oils. Are there other essential oils in the world? Plenty. But we are proud that our set of essential oils, invented by a group of pharmacologists in Taiwan who are doctors who are teaching Western medicine. So they will do all this scientific validation. They actually did clinical tests using white mice and all that we are very proud of. So this set of oils has got the whole innovation, but other people can copy or not? Can, right? So scientific innovation all that can be copied one. Okay. Then what's the next value? What's the next thing on the value chain? You have target demographics. So we can go out and sell essential oils, be a salesman, go out there, sell essential oils, want to buy oils or not? Buy oils, buy oils, buy oils. But we look at demographics, what's the consumer pattern like? Consumer pattern want convenience. Consumer patterns want something that's fun to learn. Consumer pattern want to say, I'm not sick, tell me what I can use. If I get sick, what can I use? So you have this consumer experience, whether it's delightful, whether I come here, I enjoy myself. How many of you enjoy our TCM workshop a lot? Yeah, okay. So what we did was, we created workshops. Okay? Workshops that we bring it out to corporate world. Suddenly people think that, hey, I didn't know TCM can be learned this way. Right? We bring it overseas, suddenly Filipinos can learn Qi Chi, Susan Lee, you know. And furthest we have gone to, we actually help. We bring this out to help people. A group of African orphans were helped because we sent the oils to them, taught them how to use it. It helped them tide over COVID-19. Would it? Did we just break the whole system of TCM means go and see this man with a beard that will tell you, I think your heart got problem? No, we come here, we check ourselves, we draw lines on ourselves. Yeah, how many of you enjoyed drawing your lines and now you know, I got 3 meridians on my arm, inside, outside, whatever. Yeah, was that fun? Okay. So, after we do all this, we also use technology, thanks to COVID, no thanks. We actually use Zoom. So now, how many of you Zoom train Meridian practitioner? Yeah, the one in Melbourne all the way, I know. Yeah, Veronica joined us during COVID time, right? Yeah, and then we have a group of people, poly, ITE teachers, poly teachers and all that. Yeah, we created workshops for them. So use of technology important or not? Suddenly people say, TCM can be learned by Zoom at home. Cool, right? Suddenly we become cool, hip. TCM not the lao, got beard. Then, you know, so suddenly become very hip. So young people also can do. Who the young people here? Oh, IB, come on. Okay, as long as you are willing to learn something, the day you stop learning, you are old. So as long as you are all learning something, we are young. Now, after we do all this, if you want to make it into a business, what do? Is Singapore very big? No. So if you want to go to a blue ocean, don't stay in one locality because other people will copy you from all other localities. And so you strike out on the global reach, global expansion. So do we do global expansion? On the platform, we are able to franchise this out to a lot of countries, Japan, Taiwan, Philippines. Okay, we even have people from Finland learning from us and all that. So we franchise it, global franchise. Is that good? And when we go to a lot of the Western countries, in fact, the demographic is so strange. In Asia, we find the penetration a bit hard. But there are a lot of foreigners who want to learn from us. Because it's like, because they went to all this natural therapy thing a lot faster. So if you have foreign friends and all that, is it a problem? No, because we can use Zoom to teach them. Okay? So are we in the blue ocean? At least Meridian 101? So Avita, the place that you're in here, this is the global business platform for wellness entrepreneurs. So we are very glad that Avita kind of, well, adopted us, or we work symbiotically with Avita, okay? Because the products that we do, like say, Vita have a set of essential oils, we could just say, oh, distributors go out there and sell essential oils. All can sell oils, might you know? Essentially, Meridian is our surfboard to ride the TCM with. Because we saw the opportunity. As distributors, do we need to see opportunities? Do we need to adapt ourselves to the demand that's out there? So that was how we adapted, and that's how we went into the blue ocean. Because it's not that we invented something totally new, it's just that we use different techniques to disrupt the whole market. In fact, we have had a few essential oils companies, distributors, who came without telling us to learn our workshops, and then went back and tried to use their own oils on that. We don't even, after we found out, it's like, so what, just go. Because our oils are specially concocted to work with our meridians. So if you use the oil that's not concocted to work with your meridians, and if it works, good for you. If it doesn't work, then you might as well be using Mazola cooking oil or something like that. Okay? 打不了油, yeah, 还高油. Okay, so you see this group of people here, this is the latest taken last Saturday one. How many of you are in the picture here? Please raise your hand. Oh, congratulations. And then a lot of leaders. So what we did was we went out there with a vision. Okay. First of all, you must see the opportunity. You go out there and say, what is the problem you are trying to solve? So our vision was in line with what the market demands. Okay, we want every family to have this natural therapy to help them in health. Okay, don't always take antibiotics. Okay, don't always take synthetic drugs. And then we want, so in order to do that, the demographic is people think very leceh. Can you imagine the person go Shenton Way to work, but the mom say must take tang kueh, then she bring tang kueh and charcoal, and then try to cook her tang kueh in the charcoal. Not possible, right? Not possible. And then people either don't take it, give it up altogether, or we find a way for them to be able to bring it there. And that's in the form of essential oils and how to use it properly. So we actually, our oils are not cheap, but do we deliver value? So that's what I talk about cost value. If I just sell the oils and you don't know how to use it, you'll find that this is just expensive. I can buy another oil. But now I deliver the value by teaching you how to use it properly to optimize its effect. Is that good or good? Yeah. So I think if you have time later, go talk to Judy because she has an experience using essential oils before. Yeah. And then one simple, too leceh, don't want to learn. Too difficult, don't want to learn. How many of you like to learn complicated things other than engineers? Electronic engineers like, yeah, everything is like, I cannot see one, you know. Yeah. Okay, so you want simple, practical, and most of the time, it's not what you teach people. It's at the end of the day how they feel about you. That's why you are the blue ocean. Because they like to be with you. Because you give them such a delightful experience. Is that good? That's a lot easier than try to entice someone with the good food you can cook. Agree? And because of your, your disposition, you're a happy person, and you become the magnet to attract people to you. Yeah. So be that person. And then, because that is our vision, we change how we introduce TCM to the world. That came through our Meridian 101 workshops and everything. Yeah, agree? So how many of you, very surprised, how come people will think of this kind of things to teach TCM? How many of you never thought in your life that you'd be able to learn TCM? But now you know that I got 14 meridians. I was one of them. I come from English school one. Okay. Yeah, English school people. Okay. But then it helps also because once I get on a platform, Vita is a company for wellness entrepreneurs, which means they have a whole other, array of products that we can use. It's not just one thing. We learn everything. And then we have a whole series of things that we can help people. So Puasa science looks a bit long. It takes a bit longer to work. If you have a joint issue and I say use masculine, but if I take Saligen, maybe in 3 weeks, your joint pain will go away. So I've heard something about that today. Just, so I'm on the platform, I'm doing this TCM thing, but Vita has got this whole big arena of weapons I can use to go out to the market. Is that okay? That's even better. So now I'm in the ocean that's like spending all the time because Avita has new products all the time. In the most Western world, we have cellular therapy in the form of Saligen. Okay, in the most Asian world, we have TCM. So we are in this big ocean, don't know we want to speak Chinese or speak English. So Mara is okay. If you feel like I can't speak Chinese, it's okay. We do our TCM in English as well. But your Chinese will get better attempt. Actually, my Chinese got better after I joined Avita. Yeah? So I don't know how many of you heard this as ESBI. Basically, ESBI, E stands for employee, S stands for self-employed, B are business owners, and I is investor. Okay, I'll start from the high end first. Yeah, investors, please, if you are working, getting a salary, and you say, I'm investing in a property, that is not investing. That is called, just putting somewhere where you build your nest. Because when you lose your job and you can't pay the mortgage, the property is gone. When you say investment, it means I'm investing in something that is my money. That money disappears, nothing, doesn't affect my lifestyle. Now that's called investing. So the I sector, finish, don't you talk already? So how many of you got like millions to, if you invest $5 million in the bank, 2% interest a year, still get 100K a year, okay, I can enough to spend, correct? Okay, so if you have that, go and do that, but then take care of your health. Okay? Now the E sector, I already spoke a lot about it already, the employee sector. Nowadays, a lot of machines are going to take over. So if the machines are going to take over my job, it means I don't want to do the machine's job. So you think as a human, what you can do, that is your strength. You won't lose to the machine one, trust me. Okay, but you have to think what you can do. And not everyone can think of what they can do. But when there's a system that we are working on, you feel that that is something that you can do and join us, then do join us because we've created a system. The self-employed, okay, I was self-employed. I thought I was boss. But no, actually I pay all my workers except myself. So the self-employed, people may think very glamorous, right? Self-employed, you're a boss and all that, but self-employed means you don't work, you don't get paid. I was a scuba diving instructor. I don't teach for that week. I don't get paid for that week. Okay, if you are a doctor and you close your clinic for 1 month, there's no income. So when you want to trade your time for money, that's, the left sector is that. So most of the time, in fact, that one is getting to be very red, really, especially the E sector. So if you still continue with tradition, tell people to go and look for a job, you are throwing everyone into the Red Sea. Okay? And then the B is when business... Okay, no, not good. If you are a self-employed, not an S, if you are in an S sector, you work enough, you can possibly build a B. Yes, a lot of people have gone that route. But today's world is quite different. Things are moving a lot faster. People want a shorter time. So you may not want to start from zero. You may want to jump on the system so that the system, you start to own that system yourself. That is the B that is faster. Okay, so I refuse to believe in companies that are built to flip. There was a lot of argument about company built to flip. I built a company up, I sell. Then I built another company, I sell. This company built to flip. But unless we are that good. Otherwise, if you say I want to build something from one Sheng Siong store to a little Sheng Siong store, then make sure you marry the right people. Okay? So, this is our E sector. E sector, few things that happen is supply more than demand today. Okay, so they tell you stay open-minded about different job roles and salary expectations. Again, this is so traditional. This is from our government. This is this year's newspaper. Everything is about jobs and salary. Nobody ever tells you go out there and look for business. We are the only people who tell you try a business that will work for you. Okay. Secondly, they say prepare to settle for less. This is the interview the students. When I was reading this report, it's like, wow, it's like heart pain. They were ready to settle for less. So why do you want to settle for less? Your time is worth less. You don't value your time. And then swallow the bitter pill. Just graduate, swallow the bitter pill. No. So parents, when you go home tonight, please hug your children and say, "Mommy, sorry." Okay. So teach them. Parents ourselves also have to learn that this traditional route may be a disaster going forward. So parents, please learn, get some financial literacy, learn how money is made, how to get multiple streams income, and imbue in your children. Don't complain that government bring people here, buy a lot of things, so now property price go up, you all cannot afford to buy property. No. Don't give them that kind of reason. You want to have a strike in life, you go and work as hard as possible. But how do you work hard? How do you look for opportunities? Okay, last one. Time consuming and it really pays off. So basically it tell you that, you either go cheap or there's no job for you lah. Okay. And then you keep exchanging time for money. Last year or the year before, there was a report that say people are willing but not able to. Willing but not able to take no pay leave. They were willing to exchange their money for time to go on holiday, which was not possible. What has changed? So the money, the whole situation. How many of you had bad experience with like in the job market? I know Ivy has. Ivy, my downline, she very proud of her. For 10 years, she was jobless. She held on and now, surviving very well. How many of you had that? How many have experienced retrenchment before? How many of you quit your job and sack your boss on your own? Oh, heroes. Okay. Now, TCM, back to TCM. Remember I showed you this? And I said this give us an opportunity. If you see this, and then now, Charlie tells Ziv, because TCM now become big medical scene, so go and learn to be TCM physician. Okay. Well, no, because just now remember I told you traditional one. What this young doctor said is this. When she first joined, her pay was 2005. After probation, she was paid 2008, and then they say that there's no advancement. Okay, Western doctors still have from houseman to MO to specialist to professor or to whatever. TCM, they say very hard to see progression. So in the end, you're stuck in the same area. Career advancement, no career advancement. And then what she did was, from E segment, she went to S segment. She owned her own TCM clinic. Then TCM clinic, what did she have to do? Work long hours to ensure business stays afloat. Okay? So TCM, double-edged sword. If you see the opportunity but operate it wrongly, this could happen. And what did some smart people say? Where does TCM fit into Singapore's healthcare reform plan? So they talk about innovation and change in mindset are needed. Government will tell you innovation and change in mindset, but government never tell you what. So I'm very glad essentially Meridian did this whole change in mindset to make TCM available to everyone. Okay, so we did it, we have done it. So how? We first start off by conducting lessons like that. Make it fun for people. People say, oh, I can learn TCM. And then we say, go ahead, share your skills and your know-how with other people. Yes? And then what do? Happy customers will say, hey, can I join you? How do I join you in this very fun one? We all Friday go walking, or we go for corporate talks, we go bazaar, then we see help people do this, help people do that. And suddenly there's a business brewing already, correct or not? Partners come in already. Yeah. And then when the time is right and the person is okay and say that, yeah, this is something that I could do. Like today, after today's talk, I hope a lot of you have a change in mindset. You can franchise the opportunities to your friends, to, and build multiple streams of income when you go out overseas, like Judy, who came back from overseas. Now, when she goes back out to meet her friends that she met overseas, can she share this with them? Can she then now franchise it to her friends in Taiwan, maybe, in Japan, Philippines? Yeah. And she has this whole group of people backing her. How many of you are looking like, wow, I think I can now franchise it to Philippines? Yes. By the way, Saturday I'm going to Philippines. I'm going there to give talks as well. So this is how the business is done. Okay. You don't have to start from zero. And I think we are still young enough to be very mobile. We are also nimble enough to change because we haven't like dumped in a lot of money to build big factories and all that. So this is about building pipelines. This is about building multiple streams of income. How do you build multiple streams of income is to build pipelines. Okay, so I'd like to show you a little video. Okay. And then I want you all to watch carefully and then tell me what your takeaway of this video is, okay?
Let me tell you a story of two friends, Pablo and Bruno. Pablo and Bruno were young and ambitious. They dreamt of having their own house, a family, and living their life in wealth and peace. So they got jobs, carrying buckets of water from the river to the village fountain. They were ecstatic. The job paid well, and now they had a way of making their dreams come true. But even though they were young and buff, the river was far and the work was tiring. Bruno said to Pablo, "Dude, don't worry about it. We'll get used to the pain. Plus, one day we'll be able to buy whatever we want." But Pablo didn't agree. There had to be a better way. Pablo told Bruno about an idea of transporting water from the river without breaking their backs or wasting their time. It would be hard at first, but it would pay off in the end. Bruno laughed. "That would take months, years. Ain't nobody got time for that." And so months went by and Pablo continued to work on his pipeline. Bruno and his friends laughed at Pablo. Bruno bought new clothes, dinners, and even a new donkey for his wife. So every day Bruno trudged out to the river and every day the bucket seemed heavy. Pablo worked on the pipeline and every day the village became closer. And after much time and dedication, Pablo had finished his pipeline and now was able to give water to the village without any effort at all. The villagers lined up and cheered Pablo for his work. What a hero, this guy.
I like water!
Bruno is older and bearded now, and the heavy buckets have taken their toll. He can't carry as many buckets of water anymore. He was out of a job. Pablo, on the other hand, was now rich and successful. He now had a continuous stream of income and had plenty of time to spend with his family and doing the things he loved. He told his friend Bruno that he had planned on building more pipelines and offered to help build Bruno one of his own. Eventually, Bruno built his own pipeline and they were both able to stop working and spend the rest of their lives with the friendship and the pipelines they had built. Pablo and Bruno secured a river of cash. Now you have to ask yourself, how long are you going to work a 9-to-5 job? How much longer can you settle for 5 days off a year? Are you a bucket carrier or pipeline builder? We're building a pipeline. Come build it with us.
Okay. How many seeing this video for the first time? This book is written by someone, who's teaching people about building pipelines. So what did Pablo do? Anyone want to guess? What did Bruno do? What did Pablo do? Bruno was exchanging his time for money. Okay. So you can go for more trips, you can carry bigger buckets. Yes? Go for more trips, do more overtime lah. Find a second job lah. Right? So I know people who do a day job after that go and drive Grab and all that, or carry bigger buckets, try to get promoted. So I know friends who are CEO who can't even go for holiday with their children. Okay, I hardly see their family. What did Pablo do? Pablo spent his time to build a pipeline so that he can get an ongoing income, okay, as long as the water is flowing. Next, how much time do you have a day? 24 hours. Can you expand that? Can you say today I spend less, then I keep, and tomorrow I got 36 hours to spend? Cannot. You have 24 hours, spend it all or lose it. Yeah. But if you do it properly, you can actually increase your productive time each day. Which means now, if you build a pipeline properly, even when he's sleeping and money is coming in, right? Then it's productive time, right? Sleeping time is productive time. Play golf time is productive time. Okay? And then lastly, have you ever thought of what happens when you cannot exchange your time for money anymore? Obsoleted, ill health, old age. But in Pablo's case, just now there was one slide where I say, who's got the time? How many of you have this no time syndrome? Everything also no time. Huh? That's because you have money, right? Okay. But if you want to build something and you have no time, then it's not possible. But if you want to spend time to build, then how fast or how slow you build depends on how much time you're going to put in it. That's all. Okay. And the best part is, if you have built your pipeline successfully, can you help your friend build pipelines? You can, yeah. Okay, you can build your. So if you all don't believe in pipeline, can I invite PA Joey on stage, please? Not because he looks like pipe and I look like barrel. Yeah. Okay. So I'll show you real pipelines right before you ask. Okay. So may I know who is the first generation below PA Joey? Okay, Mary is outside, so the PDs below him directly can come up, please. You know what I'm saying? Yes, yeah. Yes, Yinting, Andrew. Yeah, under his group. The PDs under his group. The platinum directors under his group. You stand on the stage. You stand here. You stand here. Yeah. Okay. The PDs. Okay. Those GAs. You also are you. So those GAs under this group. Yeah, you're standing one row in front of this group. Okay, and those invited to this AMC under this group of people, can you all please come to the front? Who's a GA yet, but coming for AMC? Invited, who are your Charlie invited by who? Huh? Yeah, lor, down there, right? So Joey, can you identify your group? See him. Oh, down there already. Natalie, you're under who? Pauline, right? Yeah, so Pauline is our. So myself, I'll come later. So you're under Pauline directly, right? Can you stand? Can you squeeze a little bit? Can I have Natalie? Can I have Natalie stand beside Andrew? Oh, so no one invited you, so yeah. Okay, so Natalie's group, Charlie, Jenny, Charlie, John, Ziv. Okay. So you stand beside Suhun. No. Okay, stand there. Ziv also. Okay. Juliana, okay. So I know. So y'all can just squeeze. We know y'all same level, but y'all squeeze a bit. Okay, Natalie, go to the center there a bit, but give a gap. Okay, Juliana, you're here. I know it's another Yen Yen, but Yen Yen, Josephine is not here. Just come. I'm the one. Jenny and all that, y'all move to the center, please. I'm telling you how many lines there are here. Yeah, so you're just actually good. Okay, Juliana is here. Juliana has got different outline. Okay. Who else? Mei Ling and Juliana. Same grandmother one. Same grandmother one. Okay, so you stay here. Okay, that lady at the back there, May. Who invited May? It's okay, it's okay. So she invited you, so she stand here. Hello, she's part of your pipeline now. Here, May, could you just indulge us? So the rest I see. Veronica, where are you? I know. So you come. So I shall because Veronica is a host today. So I shall let Veronica stand beside Joey now. Okay, like stand beside Joey. There, yeah. Cannot go up from here. Okay. And then me. Okay, my first group under me one. Come up. I have one more. I was Wendy. So the PDs here. Wendy 在中国. Here. Okay, can I have your Juliana, your screen to that? No, you don't need to be so. Just reach at the clump. Doesn't matter. Yeah, clump up together. Okay, now from this group down to the GA. Juliana and Mei Ling. Juliana and Mei Ling come up here. Your don't have. Your upline is not here, so you are the upper line. Okay, and then Arena has got Esther and Elaine. Okay, and then Peggy has Mala, and hey, Rob today invited Paul. Paul, can you? No, my can stand in there, stand inside there. So if you look at this whole thing, thank you. Thank you. Please go back to your seats safely. So is that impressive? And actually, we have a lot of uplines and leaders who are overseas all over the place right now. And we have a big group, thanks to the Zoom, thanks to Zoom, we have a big group in Philippines also watching us. Okay, I don't see them here, but they are there with us. So the whole connection is everywhere. So if you want to build a pipeline, this is how we go out there with a big movement. And the big movement can be people. And if people are all, and we also allow a lot of freedom of how you want to do this whole thing. So remember, all of you are little drops of the sea in the blue ocean. And the next drop that you meet is another blue ocean. So if that resonates properly, that's how a big ocean is slowly formed up. Okay? So that's all I have for you tonight. And I have to get all of you to jump into the water. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Let me hand over to... Here you go.
Thank you very much, Chong Pheng. Did y'all enjoy that talk? Did you enjoy being part of the pipeline? Yeah? Everyone is connected in Avita, no matter where you are, right? So, okay, I'm going to let you break off into to your groups with your uplines for your discussion. But before we do that, I have an announcement to make. we have the ELS coming up on the 19th of July. Okay. And one of the speakers is no other than our DP Chong Pheng. Okay. And our host for the whole day is going to be none other than Ivy Young. So register, okay, and come. It's a full day. Lunch will be included. And come for this Entrepreneur Leap seminar. We call it ELS for short. And this will show you how also to, besides the blue ocean, how it's also very part of the blue ocean, you know, how we can the difference between traditional business and entrepreneurial business, right? So, okay, thank you very much for being here this evening. And I would just let you go and speak with your people who invited you for this evening. Thank you and have a good night. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. Thank you, everyone in Zoom. Bye. And everyone on Saturday, wear your black t-shirts, okay? Remember to wear your black t-shirts.